It's time to live draft on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. We're going to see where some of these players are falling ADP wise first. So this is going to be an ADP show first and foremost. This is going to be this show. Let me put this graphic up instead of this graphic because we're digging into the ADP values. Who is the best value on Underdog right now? Where did Harvey go in the rankings? Because Harvey was going last night in the 7th, 8th, and 9th round, but the ADP rankings adjusted last night. Let's dig into the ADP data. Then we get into drafting, the fantasy football show, Monday through Friday show, the 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday, the live most graveyard shows at midnight Eastern, which is what this one is right here, the live whenever news breaks show. That begins right now. File on in.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So let's pull up the ADP data right now and dig straight into it. So I'm going to pull it up. Let's go to the rankings. Let's go to NFL 2025, and I'll put it up on screen. So let me share my screen, and we'll dig straight into it. Who are the best values right now? Let's not go through bus calls, call out McCaffrey or all these other guys that we're going to be avoiding. Who are the great values? And I'm not going to spend too much time on like Gibbs, who's a fantastic value at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 overall on this board, 5.4 ADP, but the 6th player on the board. I'm not going to spend too much time on values like that. I will say Lamb Chops, has been climbing. Unfortunately, he was around 7, 8, 9 earlier, but he's still a great value. I still love Lamb. Neighbors is falling all the way down to this 10 overall territory, which is fantastic. I think you could almost begin there. I know some people will say things like you can't have a steal at number 10 overall, Smitty. There's no one sleeping. You can't define a sleeper at 10. I can, I will, and I do all the time because I've been doing this longer than anybody that you probably know making content. And I've been using the term sleeper since I was born. I was born talking about sleepers. And I know that Neighbors is getting slept on when I believe he could be in this territory, and you get him down at the bottom of round 1 in some cases. I got him at 11 last night on a draft. Genty as well is a steal. Let me put this up here. This is a little easier to highlight these players. All right, so one player I think is going to climb a lot. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, I know the ADP's here, but this is the 6th player on the list, 7, 8. So Neighbors 8, 9, 10. Genty might seem high to some people. Let me just put this right here in the middle and we'll just scroll to it. Genty might seem high to some people at 10 overall. Not me. I'd pay top 5. Don't tell anybody. I'd pay top 5 overall value for Genty. Don't tell a soul. If the ADP climbs there, I'll pay it. But until it does, nobody should be drafting him higher than his ADP on best ball because it's a thing of averages. When you get the 5 overall pick, start enjoying the Lamb and JJ and Bijan and Gibbs drafting. And then when you get into the 9, 10, 11, take Genty. Don't be taking Genty at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 overall when you don't need to. Enjoy the other player ADPs in those territories. And just scoop up Genty whenever you're near his ADP. If you want to try some 9 overall drafts with him, I get it. Is Tank Dell cooked in Dynasty? Probably, bro. His knee was mangled. Absolutely cooked. I mean, if I could put him on IR, I'd maybe hold him. It depends if somebody else came along to have more value. It is what it is. His knee had to be completely put back together with multiple surgeries. So he's cooked. Genty, love the value. BT, so if this is 10, this is 12. BT fell to the 12-13 turn. That means that if you're drafting in the number 12 spot, you're getting BT like clockwork. BT and Bowers. BT and sometimes Genty. BT and maybe if you're lucky, the running back that goes with them that's perfect is Genty. But if that doesn't happen, you're probably going BT Bowers. You're probably going BT and Achane. in my opinion. You could go JT if you want. Bucky's a little early at the turn, so I'd almost say just enjoy a bunch of Achane with BT at the 12 pick. If you're sitting there going, okay, I'm at 12 overall, BT, give me BT and Achane. That's pretty rock solid. Give me Bowers and Achane. Give me Bowers and BT. Bowers is great value. And again, when people say there's not good value in the top 15, I laugh at that. BT's a fantastic value. He was wide receiver 4, and he's going 12 overall. Brock Bowers, I don't like him in 1, but I don't mind him all the way up to the top of round 2. I think McBride, who's been climbing ADP data, McBride is inside round 2 now. He did live in round 3 for a long time. It's still good value. I think McBride at the end of 2 is maybe better than Brock Bowers at the top of 2, but kind of just depends on what you're going for. I don't mind taking McBride in back-to-back round 2, 3, turn like a Bucky McBride. Like, this is fantastic right here. If you were to go, let's say, Jamar Chase or JJ or CeeDee Lamb at the top, and you could get a McBride and Bucky, you've got a balanced team. You've got your top 5 wide receiver in JJ or Lamb, maybe the number 1 receiver. Then you got the maybe number 1 tight end. Of course, Bowers and him are very, very close, and you could argue it, but JT and McBride, or Bucky and McBride, or Kyron and McBride, I love that. We'll go over the values I don't like. I obviously don't like Hill, but you know, we'll just stick with the positives. 26 overall for Jacobs. We've had a couple of Jacobs questions over the last handful of weeks. Like, hey, why don't you like Jacobs? Why are you not, promoting him anymore? You were big on him last year, Smitty, as we were. He was a Mars man extraordinaire, and boy, did we nail the Josh Jacobs prediction 2024.
Let him cook.
We nailed it. But we paid a different price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not yesterday's price. And 2-3 turn pick, I just like other players. I like Kyron. Kyron hasn't even shown up yet. Bucky falls here. Garrett Wilson I like a little bit more than Jacobs. I don't hate Jacobs here. I'm just not drafting a ton of it. Garrett Wilson, anywhere inside round 3 is good for me. I'm very, very happy about that. I'd rather have, and Bucky's still good. I skipped over Bucky. I mean, I talked about him, but Bucky at 22, I'm fine with that. Bucky's deserving of 12 overall. Bucky's deserving of 11 or 12. Bucky's deserving of kind of where Genti's current ADP value is, right at 10, 11, 12. I'm not paying that. I just told you I wouldn't pay 13, 14 overall value because I don't have to. Maybe in a non-best ball where you don't get to trade, it's one draft, you take a little bit of a reach on Bucky. But in a best ball environment where you could just hammer out another $3 draft today, you could do 7 drafts right now. Use the ADP data, not draft off it. Use it, manipulate it, massage it. Go into a draft and say, I'm gonna get enough Bucky shares at the bottom of 2. I'm not gonna ruin this draft by taking him too high unless I need to. I'll take Achane. I'll do a lot of Achane drafts. I'll take a little JT. Diversify your portfolio. That's the best way to put it. Allow ADP to help you diversify your portfolio. Justin says, would you trade 2 second rounders and Kyrie Boston for Genty? Definitely. Justin, appreciate you. I don't know where Kyrie is. I did unblock his number in case he wanted to call in again, but he decided, I guess, not to call in. He's probably still very mad. I'm not talking about anything with him. If he calls in, I'm going to let him know if he does. That's it. We're not having that discussion, that ridiculous discussion anymore. Bucky, love the value. Love the mother freaking value. Garrett Wilson, love the value. Third drafted player. Marvin Harrison Jr., love it. Third drafted player. Kyron, maybe the best value yet. I love the Bucky late second, but Kyron at 30 overall, you're talking about the middle of the 3rd round. You're not talking about 3.1, 25 overall, or 26 overall. You're talking about in the 30s at 30, 31, 32. That's insane. What did Kyron do to deserve this disrespect? I don't know, but I like it. It feels good. Kyron at 30.9, what's wrong with people? Again, I don't care. I hope it continues, but I still want to understand it a little bit. I don't know where it's coming from. Kyron Williams, what did he do? What did he do to deserve 3rd round, not top of 3, mid 3rd round value? Steal of the draft so far. Kyron Williams.
You've just been Smitty approved.
He's Kyron, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Unbelievable. DJ Moore, what's he doing? Is this a typo? Did they accidentally export the wrong data in or something? Why is DJ Moore cemented into 3? No thanks. no thanks, DJ. Where am I at? There we go. Sorry, DJ Moore. We'll go through again. We're not trying to go through negatives. Josh Allen at the end of the 3rd round is nice. Chase Brown. We said if we escaped the NFL draft, we could look at that 3-4 turn, and that's kind of where we're at right here. He's a 3-4 turn. I don't like him high 3 as much as I do past even mid 3. Right at mid 3 is where I start looking at Chase Brown, because I'm not just drafting Chase Brown. I'm drafting Chase Brown right next to my 4th rounder, and I feel like I'm getting 2 late 3rd rounders, and I like that responsibility that Chase holds in that spot. So don't mind this. Adams, a little too high for me. I like Adams a lot. I'm intrigued at 4th round value. I remember we did a video a couple weeks ago, and maybe it's about a little over a month ago, where I said, yeah, if you took Adams in 4, and someone in the chat's like, Adams in 4? Oh my God, are you guys listening to this guy? Adams isn't going to go as high as 4. I mean, technically, he's now a 3rd rounder. So, joke's on who? I'm not drafting him that high, though. It's okay. If you auto-drafted it, you could live with it. But it's not something that I'm really into. Lamar, I like Lamar. I'd rather have Josh Allen, JD5, a few others. Rashee Rice, 37, and then Worthy is 37. So Rice and Worthy are right. Where did I go here? Here we go. Rice and Worthy are both 37 overall, which puts them at the top of round 4. Obviously, 36 is the end of round 3. And so 4.1 is where you're getting Rice and Worthy. 4.1. Not the steal that I think you'll get in your home league, in your non-best ball league. In best ball, people are reaching for wide receivers in rounds 1, 2, 3. And it pulls these wide receivers up so that Rice and Worthy go at a 4.1 instead of maybe 4.8. I think that they're better values in non-best ball than best ball, but at the same time, I could take Rice as my 4th drafted player at the top of round 4 if I had to. If I'm looking at a draft like this and I say to myself, let's put Rice here at 4. Again, there are players I might draft over him. I'm not saying that there aren't. But if we take, let's say, let's move this board and make it accurate. So if we're picking at the top of the bottom of round 1, the top of round 2, the bottom of round 3, the top of round 4, Rice at 4.1, I could get behind this kind of team. Let me throw it out there. We got Mahomey. Where's my Mahomes? Where's my Mahomey? It's right here. We'll go Mahomey in round 6, 7. We'll just put Harvey at 5. Let's say because we're talking about the bottom of 5. So we'll put Harvey. We'll take Debo and move him off the board here. So Mahomes here at top of 6. Harvey bottom of 5, and then we're going to put a BTJ and Genty at this turn, right? So let's say you're able to get this. I'm not saying this is easy every time, but I've certainly accomplished this. And if you don't like this, or you think I can't get Genty and BT Smitty, I've tried, it doesn't work for me. I've got it a couple times. It's very, very solid when it happens. It feels great. There is an alternative. So if you can get something like this, and then your bottom of round 3, probably be something along the lines of, let's call it Kyron. Kyron can fall. Like, if you can pull this off and pull this out of your bag of tricks, certainly possible. Let me find Kyron and throw Kyron on here. This is a damn good team. And if Kyron doesn't fall to this 3rd area, you could easily put Hampton there. So where's my Hampton value? I'll just pull another Hampton on the screen. This is how it gets very clouded, is because I can't find somebody. They're hiding. And then I have like 8 copies of every player, and then I eventually got to clear this bad boy out. Well, let's put Hampton on here. So whether it's Kyren or Hampton, this is a damn good team. And if you think, oh, Smitty, I can't get Genty and BT, which again, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. BT and Achan is very, very attainable. Very attainable. You take Achan at the bottom of, or the top of 2. You take BT at the bottom of 1. So something along the lines of this. Thomas Jr., Achan, Hampton, Rice. This is where the whole point was, the exercise was to get Rice on a round 4 slot that I'm okay with. So end of the day, don't know that I'd scream value like I do with Kyren when it comes to Rice, but I don't mind it. Breece Hall, fantastic. Going back to this board, you're getting Breece Hall at 4.1 now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Did I just read that right? 4.1? He fell to 4.1. He's now a 4.1. He was the bottom of 3. Now he's 4.1. The steals of the draft so far. Hall, 4.1. Kyren, around 3.6. Best picks in fantasy. Wow. Unreal. Hampton's great value. 4th round. So 4.1. So he's right around 3.4. Or sorry, 4.4. That's good value for Hampton in best ball. That's fantastic. JD5. Love the JD5 value. JD5 is one of the best picks here as well. So you're talking about 4.5. I mean, unreal. Hurts and Burrow. Look, I won't write everybody on here. Those need to be noted as we're talking about 5th round now. Joe Burrow with the rookies. Why did Burrow go from round 4 to round 5? The rookies. The rookies bumped him down. Why is Hurts now at the 5.1 to 4.12 to 5.2? The rookies bumped him down. They have to go on here. So we'll put Burrow, Hurts. Both these guys are at 5.1. That's unreal. Burrow, Hurts, 5.1. Unreal. Travis Hunter climbing. God, he climbed in around 5. I still like it, but that wasn't what it was, right? Man, that's crazy. So 48 overall is where we're getting into round 5. And then we're getting right around the tail end of round 5. Henderson, Waddle, Addison. None of these are jumping out as like steals for me. Walker's pretty good, especially if you cuff him. Debo's great at 64. Debo at 64, I think, is fantastic. 64 overall. Laporta is great at 66. I like that value a lot. RJ Harvey climbed to 74 overall. That's great. That's still great. That's still fantastic value. Harvey, 74 overall. We'll go through 100, okay? And then we'll draft. Mahomes, 78. Mahomes, 78 overall. It's crazy. How's Shakir right behind Mahomes? Insane. Buka, it's not bad. We're going to 100. And then we're cutting it off. Cooper Cup, it's okay. I'm not going to write it down, though. Scadaboo. Okay, I said I was stopping at 100, but this is the first 100. I want to go down more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stop at Cam Scadaboo. Cam, 101. Best picks in fantasy 2025 so far at this moment in time. Harvey, 74 overall. JD5, 4.5. Cam Scadaboo, 101. Debo, 64 overall. Burrow and Hurts, 5.1. Hall 4.1, Kyren 3.6. Again, Mahomes 78, Hampton 4.4. Unbelievable value. These are the best values on the ADP right now on April 29, heading into April 30. For some of you, it already is April 30, a Wednesday. For me, I'm still sitting here at 9:58 p.m. and I'm looking at these values and I'm feeling like I'm smashing. I'm winning leagues. Let's move Hurts and Burrow up here so you can see them. Hurts and Burrow at 5.1. And then you can see Debo, right? Yeah. So 5.1 for Hurts and Burrow. That is fantastic value. Breece Hall at 4.1. Kyren Williams at 3.6. Mahomes at 78 overall. Hampton at 4.4. JD5 at 4.5. Harvey at 74 overall. Debo and Cam Scatterboo. These are the best values in 2025. Unbelievable. Let's jump into an Underdog draft. Promo code Smitty. Link is pinned in the live chat. Let's swing on over to, what should we get in here? They've got more than the manias. We can jump in a bunch of different things. They've got several drafts that we could jump in. They got weekly winners. They've got the eliminator. They've got tons of different drafts we can jump in. Click on the 20-second puppy. Go. How do you find it? You go to down at the bottom lobby tab or draft tab, or if they changed it for some people if you updated your app. Click on the drafts, go to the lobby, go to the puppy, it's $5. Click the link. These fill really fast, so if you don't get in the draft with me, you're going to be drafting right alongside of me. Don't fret or say, oh, damn it, I missed the draft, Smitty. I can't believe it. Just jump in one and draft alongside. It really is just as fun. In some cases, it's even better, because you don't get sniped. But, we draft together. We talk through everything together, and you can draft a very similar team just right alongside of me. Let me go over to active drafts. Let me get into this puppy. It filled right now. Here it is. Board view. Phone lines are open as we await for this draft. I'm in the 3-hole. This is a puppy. With the puppies, these are going to be $100,000 to first place. Dial into the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Let me rewrite some of these to make it cleaner. So the best picks and best picks. Hurts and Burrow at 5.1. Hall. Looks like I'm on the clock. Let's go lamb chops here. I'm really liking going wide receiver. Hall at 4.1. Hall at 4.1. What's up, Travis? You're live. $4.1. Can you hear me, Travis? I don't know what's up at the phone line again. Let me see. Settings. Travis? Hello, Travis. Hello. Hold on, let me get this. All right, Travis, I should be able to hear you now. I had to turn on the other speaker. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Best picks.
Yeah.
Here we go. Best picks.
I was gonna say, before the draft, when Underdog first opened up this year, you were getting under at like 150, right?
I know. It was crazy, bro. It was insane. It's kind of, we knew it was going to happen, and this is why I tell people, you know, milk it up while you can, because it's not going to last. And it's funny when people are like, oh, yeah. And I love when people are like, I don't want to draft early because injuries could happen. Where was Mahomes at? Mahomes is at 78 overall. Okay. 78 overall. Hampton's 4.0. What's your favorite value that I identified?
At the board, and I love Mahomes. I like the idea that, you know, you can do what you want with your first two picks and still get Kyren and Hall, or one or the other.
Yeah,
you know?
on the clock.
Get a RB1.
On the clock here, Bucky's there, McBride's there. Probably gonna go with, I'm gonna cue Bucky in case I time out. I'm gonna cue Bucky here. I like McBride. I could go McBride and Kyren, you know, but I'm gonna go Bucky here. I'll time out on Bucky, and then we'll see what falls to us, because we have these 4 picks right here, and then it comes right back. I'm sure McBride's gonna go, but I wanted, there he goes, McBride.
Chase Brown's 80. Someone on the.
It's the end of 3, which is kind of still not exactly where I want it, but it's not bad at all. It's definitely safer now. JD5 is going 40 overall. All right, so Josh Allen went, Jacobs went, Kyren went. So we got a sniper in here. He heard me say it, and he took him. I'll go early Breece Hall, slightly early Breece Hall. He's falling to 4.1, but I'm not getting him back. And quite honestly, he's this third-ranked running back at this point. The running backs flew off the board in this draft. But obviously getting sniped by one of our drafters in here. Thanks a lot for taking my Kyren early. I shouldn't open my big mouth. Rock out, try it again, and I'll answer. I'm sorry. 40 to 42 overall. Scat is going at 101. Harvey 74, Debo 64. So Harvey 74. Oh, I got so Harvey 74 overall. Those are the best values, in my opinion. All right, real quickly, let me go over the board. So pick 1 as Chase, Kyren, Josh Allen. I like it. Saquon, Trey McBride, Jacobs. Solid, but you're going to be struggling at wide receiver very, very badly. Not just because, you know, again, I'm all about best player available, but usually best player available will not send you down a path of going running back, McBride running back. Like, part of best player available is it guides you with the positional need and who's left on the board. I think it's going to be tough to win any sort of contest with that. We'll see who you get at receiver, though, but these receivers get scooped up. Look at all this orange. They get scooped up in best ball so bad, so much. CD, Bucky, Breece Hall, I like it. It's definitely a Smitty team. Bijan, Ladd, and JSN. While I see the value in maybe reaching on Ladd and then, you know, you like it. I get it. A lot of people like it. It's a big fan club. He's got kind of that cultic following as well. It's a little bit obscuring his actual value. People drafting him a little too high. But, you know, JSN, Ladd, Bijan, it could work out. It could be pretty good, but it is hard for me to envision that team, given what I expect you to have here, as being the winner. But let's see what you do here.
I'd rather have Ladd in 3 and JSN in 4. I know you can't get it that way.
Yeah, I'd rather Garrett Wilson and MHJ, you know, than well, I like I want people to know I love JSN. I do love JSN, but am I drafting Garrett Wilson over him? I think I am right now. But he's a dark horse 5 to 10 wide receiver. But dark horse means that you're trying to get him at value, and I don't know. JSN's been going so high. I don't mind that he slipped a little bit. He has slipped, and I like that. But Burrow is there. Devontae Smith, Kittle, Travis Hunter's so high now. I guess I'm gonna go Burrow here because the quarterbacks are flying. I could wait for Mahomes, but I am drafting with some people that are in this community that know that I love Mahomes, so I don't know that I'm going to get him. I don't mind bully QB later either. DK's nice. Trey Henderson is nice. Kenneth Walker solid. Debo solid. Harvey is there. I'm not going to get Harvey. I'm probably not going to get Harvey back. So 74 overall. Let's just see. Actually, I could. Well, we're in Snipe City, though. I don't know that I will. I mean, this guy on the end is clearly a show guy, so, you know, I don't. But he's not drafting again until I draft, so I could maybe get away with it. Debo or DK? 4 seconds.
I like DK. I do. I like Debo a little better.
I like them both, so I'm gonna hit. So this is pretty solid. CeeDee Lamb, Bucky, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow, Debo. I like that. It's pretty good. That's really good. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy's receivers from the 2 spot, who I said is gonna have a tough time. Barkley, Trey McBride, Josh Jacobs, Travis Hunter, Cortland Sutton. I love Travis Hunter, but I don't know that I want him as my 1. That expectation is you know, hard to live up to. Not that he can't, but then you got Sutton. I can't envision a team built like that winning. I just can't. So I'm going to say he doesn't win this thing. Not just R12, I mean the whole thing. I think anybody could win. Bryson with a super chat says, Superflex Dynasty, trade JT Bucky for 1.3 and 1.11. Hell no, bro. Look, Bucky and the 1.3 are even, and then 1.11 and JT? Absolutely not.
I think he asked about that earlier.
Yeah, the Bucky side by a country mile. Country mile. If you asked a similar question earlier, it hasn't changed. But maybe it's a slightly different question. Bryson, what else can you cook up? Like, I would definitely not be trading. It seems like you're trying to get rid of Bucky. Smitty, here is the team I reached on. Harvey. Okay. Love, Young. Harvey, Swift, Scat. Neighbors, Collins, Rice. Olave, Kelsey. I don't know, Ball. I love Harvey, but you're putting a lot on him to make him the number 1 RB, and then you got Swift. I like Scat and Harvey. It's really, really interesting. I think if I had like Henderson, Harvey, and Scat, it'd be different. I like your team. I'm not saying this team can't win, but you know, if you had one other player, maybe. Hold on 1 second before I tie knot here. Okay, so Harvey's there. I don't know if TCEU is in the chat. He's taking Harvey here, and I'm screwed. Tight end. Okay, so he's not. So Harvey fell. Harvey fell to the 6.10. So my team is Bucky, Breece, Harvey, Joe Burrow, Lamb, and Debo. That's awesome. See how you be patient with Harvey? You see what I'm saying, Ball Street? Ball Street, you took him at 4. I just got him at 6.10. Oh my God. That's league winning right there. That is league winning. All right, I'm almost on the clock here. 1 second, Travis, and rock out. Give me a second. I kind of like some of these players, but I'd rather go.
Bully?
Well, I'm gonna wait till this guy he's gonna snipe me. Oh no, he already went. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bully QB probably here. I don't like Najee. I like Ibuka a little bit here, but you got to wait on him. Cooper Kupp a little bit. Yeah, best player by far and away, Patrick Mahomes. Bully QB time. Bully QB time. Burrow. Now the only thing I'll reverse engineer real quickly and see if I like it better is go back to the Burrow pick. Settle on Mahomes right now because I have him and see if my team would be better. But Joe Burrow and Mahomes, Bully QB, Bucky, Hall, Harvey, Debo, Lamb. That is sick. So if I go back up to Burrow, I could have had Travis Hunter, Devontae Smith, Trey Henderson, DK Metcalf probably would have been like Hunter or DK. So do I think my team's better without Burrow and then have a DK or a Hunter? I don't think so. I think you can make arguments for both. I don't think I made a mistake. I think there's such a clear advantage with bully QB that I think I can make up for not having DK with another pick. Trey Henderson was also there. That'd be tempting, but then I'd have 4 running backs, which is nice, but yeah, I like this. What do you guys think of the squad? Rock out. You like this squad?
What was it again?
Burrow, Mahomes, bully QB, Bucky, Hall, Harvey, Lamb, Debo. Woo!
Like it.
Woo! As for this team, bro, this is all I'm going to say. Look at my ball. Just look at my construction of this team compared to your team. You've got Love and Young. I've got Burrow and Mahomes. I blast you to pieces, right? And then you've got Harvey, Swift, and Scat. I've got Bucky, Hall, Harvey, and probably will also have Scat. I blow your running backs to smithereens. You've got Kelsey, likely Taylor. I venture to say my tight ends will be just as good. So really what it comes down to, me blowing your team to smithereens, is it worth the wide receiver upgrades that you have? Are Lamb, Debo, and the player I get next or whatever really going to be that far behind Neighbors, Collins, and Rice? And I like those 3 players. I don't think so. So that's what I would just say. Like, when I look at this squad, I think that you have some imbalance, that you can still get Harvey, you can still get these other pieces without having the imbalance. There's something about balance. Look at my team right here. It's the far left team. Lamb, Bucky, Hall, Burrow, Debo, RJ Harvey, Patrick Mahomes. There's something about balance that helps you sleep at night. And I venture to say very few teams that don't have balance are going to win big tournaments. Unless you somehow land these crazy players. I'm probably going to see Joe. Real quickly, let me just make this pick. I'm probably going to see, I'm going to do? I'm going to go Scat here and not risk it because there's 2 tight ends that I like, and I highly doubt both of them go before my next pick. So I'm more going to kick myself. I like Jonah a lot. I don't mind saying it. If I get sniped, I get sniped. My goal is to more so tell you what I'm thinking, not necessarily try and hold back information. Like I want to talk it out. So if Jonah falls, I don't even know that I'll take him. That's why I'm even more comfortable talking about it. But Jonah and another tight end are there. If I got one of those guys, let's say I took Jonah, I would be kicking myself. So there's that guy's definitely sniping. Like, bro, pick your own guys. I mean, really. It's okay. I'm not mad at you, but it's like, want me to draft for you? Okay, I'm going, and I'm glad I did this because I'm fine with this, and I would have struggled with it anyway. Because I got Mahomes, I'll go Kelsey. So now I've got Kelsey, Mahomes stack, and that's my QB sub stack. I'm probably going to take, I don't know if I want to mention it because I'm going to get sniped on it on this one. I'm going to wait. I got another idea. But Bucky, Hall, Harvey, Scat, Lamb, Debo, I need receivers. I'm definitely hurting at receiver, but yeah, next I'm going Caleb Williams. Be sure you don't grab Caleb Williams at the next turn, please, Sniper. I want Caleb more than anybody.
Yeah, do it.
Don't take him. You take him. I'm gonna scream for my mom to bring me a hot pocket. Ball Street, hopefully that helped you, but I really think my team crushed it, and it has balance. Balance is so nice, bro. These off-balance teams, they never look good. I'm sorry, they just don't. Dynasty Superflex, my Burrow JT for Mahomes 1.3 and 1.11. What do you guys think on this one? Dynasty Superflex, Burrow, JT, or Mahomes 1.3? Rock out, you might need to mute yourself. We're getting that feedback that we've gotten before on your phone line that went away. I don't know if you're doing something different again, but it went away. We never really had it again. So maybe you can troubleshoot that based on something new you're doing. I don't know. Maybe it's speaker, but What do you think, Travis? And then I'll go over to Rock Out. Travis, do you like Burrow, JT in Superflex Dynasty or Mahomes 1.3, 1.11? I kind of think I'd take the 1.3 because JT's not like a sprint.
You can get Hampton or Henderson probably or Harvey. Then you have the 1.1 on top of it. I think I'd do that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking. What do you think, Rock Out?
I go the JT Mahomes.
Yeah, okay. Rock Out likes the other side, but that's fine. I mean, it's arguable. I'm wavering on it, for a reason. Okay,
Yeah.
real quickly, I'm almost on the clock here. I've got Burrow, Mahomes. I got Bucky. If you can mute real quick, Rock Out. It's a lot of feedback. Hall, Harvey, Scat. Let's see here. I could go Tyler Warren to back up my Kelsey, concerns I might have. I like Evan Ingram as well. That's not bad. Jordan Mason's kind of a good pick. Tyler Warren just got taken. I'm on deck. So I got Evan Ingram there. I only have the 2 wide receivers so far. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to go a little early on this guy, but I love him as my wide receiver 3. And it's going to scare other people. But the thing about my style is if I'm going to risk it somewhere, I'm risking with a player I believe in Kyle Williams as my 3. It's not even that much early. I mean, he was like 8, 9 players down. So Kyle Williams becomes my 3. Feel very comfortable with that because he's a breakout.
Get a lot of targets.
Yeah, Kyle Williams, Debo, and Lamb. Kelsey, Scat, Harvey, Hall, Bucky, Joe Burrow, Mahomes. That's solid, man. That is solid. I'm feeling really good about that. Don't take Caleb here, buddy. Don't do it. Dynasty. Yeah, so give me the Mahomes in 1.3, bro. And then I'm trying to move the 1.11 and 1.3 to get the 1.2. Just so I can control my destiny. But that's me. All right, I'm on the clock here. I'm going to back myself up by going tight end here. And so I've got Kelsey and Ingram. I am so balanced. This is insane. Burrow, Mahomes, Bucky, Hall, Harvey, Cam, Scat, CD, Debo, Kyle. My weakness, my only weakness. And someone's going to go, I don't like your wide receiver 3. No shit. You're going to have a weakness. I'm stacking everywhere. I'm literally stacking hand over fist. Kelsey and Ingram stacking there. That's amazing. Debo and Lamb are fantastic. Kyle Williams is my only risk, and I love it. I wish this was a mania, not a puppy.
You see, super chat. I can't remember.
I'm going through them. So Jake is next. So Jake right here. And then Bryson real quickly said Dynasty Superflex might. Okay, I already did that one. Okay. Yeah, do that trade, bro. For Mahomes. Get Mahomes. Acquire Mahomes. Yes, sir. Okay. Jake said $5 hauler. Thank you, Jake. Breece Hall to the moon. Yes. I think the Jets should run him into the ground. Don't worry about the committee talk. You need him to be efficient. We committed to probably the heaviest run offense in the league, taking right tackle. Absolutely, bro. Not only did you draft to help support Breece, like what a W coming out of the draft for Breece Hall and Fields. But number 2, he's gonna get into the Gibbs role, where that's where you want him. Similar to Achane. Achane getting the first and second down work wasn't always the best thing because he's getting these 2 and 3 yard runs and you're wasting opportunities and touches on something that 10 of them together is getting you like 3.5 points. You know, you're averaging like 3 yards a carry on these up the gut, horrible designed run plays that just, you're going to run so many of them a game just to keep defenses honest. Like, here's a 3-yard gain. Don't crowd us. We'll run. Or don't stretch the defense out too much. We'll run. And so you run enough of those really garbage, low percentage plays. And if you run 10 of them at 3 yards a pop, that's 30 yards, 3 points. Like, I don't care about 10 bullshit carries. Like, give me 7 to 10 really amazing touches for the running back, and then give me 4 to 6 receptions. That's what you want Breece Hall doing anyway. You don't want Breece Hall running the ball 18 times. You just don't.
I think people still underestimate his pass catching ability.
Yeah. I'm kind of... thank you, bro. And yes, to the moon, bro. To the moon. To the mother freaking moon. All right, this guy's on the clock here. If he takes my player, I'm going to be really pissed, because I think this wins the league. I think this wins the group of 12, and I think it puts me in the finals. This next pick puts me in the finals. Well, no, that sounds arrogant, but... Damn it!
Yeah.
He timed out on him, too. I mean, Tank Bigsby might do it, too, but... The reason I've been doing this like crazy... I've got the Mahomes Kelsey stack, which I love. It's fantastic. But to have a Dak Prescott Lamb stack on top of having Burrow as my QB1, this is my favorite way to stack. It's my new favorite way to stack. That was giving me the championship. I still think Bigsby's fantastic, but son of a B. You know, you know what, like I always say, you get a traffic ticket, you make it make you think differently, because maybe you would got an accident if you didn't get the traffic ticket. So what am I doing here? It's winning me the league that wouldn't normally do. Let's go Dylan Sampson. Maybe I wouldn't have made that pick if Dak didn't get taken. Mindset check. All right, I think I'm good at RB. I know I'm thin at receiver, but that's my gamble. My running stable is amazing. I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually draft 5 to max 6 running backs in an 18 draft. So I'm done. I don't need to back up Breece Hall. I don't need to cuff Bucky to Sean Tucker. I don't need to do any of that. I've got home run hitters after home run hitters. Bigsby, Sampson, Scat, Harvey, Hall, Bucky. I have probably the most eclectic group of home run hitters you can assemble. I've got Burrow and Mahomes. I don't need Dak. I just wanted that. It made me really excited. I've got Kelsey and Ingram. I can take Noah Gray later. No one should be taking him. You snipe him on that advice. Go by all means do it. Nobody should be taking Gray unless you have Kelsey. It doesn't do you any good. So Kelsey with Gray and Ingram covers me there, and that stacks with Mahomes anyway. Then I just need to worry about wide receivers. I could go quarterback at the end, maybe. What?
Yeah, you just got to round out the wide receiver.
Yeah, which I will, because quite honestly, when people say, like, I see the comment, 3 wide receivers through 13 rounds is bold. It is and it isn't. Like, the reason it's not is because it depends on who you like. If I don't like all the wide receivers for the most part, between like rounds 8 and 12 or 8 and 13 anyway, like, taking them isn't going to do any good. I don't mind cuffing Allen to Breece, but I don't need it. You don't always cuff just to cuff. Like, the players I got were better than cuffs, so I didn't need them. So wide receivers, to be honest with you, there's so many that I still like that I think are probably as good as any of the players that were taken. These are going to be my money shots right here. This is going to make or break my wide receiver room, and I'm gonna make some smart choices here that I think are going to really, really be good. Aaron says Gray's not great. He actually is really good and efficient. It's just he doesn't get a lot of work. When he gets work, he's really, really efficient. It's just they won't throw to him, so his production isn't great. So on the clock, I think this is a safe wide receiver pick for me, Keenan Allen. I think he returns to the Chargers. That's the word. I think he's still got a little left in the tank, and he's a safe play, a safe pick for me to make sure I'm getting points. I don't think there's a world where he's not on a field. I still think he's got a little left. So I'm going to make that safe call right there. My next pick is going to be a little bit more of my home run selection. Which I like a lot. I think it's a really, really good call. Yeah, I mean, like, look at that. I mean, Keenan Allen looks pretty solid there. I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to be a good pick. Okay, I'm going to go A.O. Minor, who I think is a potential breakout. I still obviously like other players that I can, cuff and do a creative stack later with, which I'll talk about later. But A.O. Minor is solid. Could really be the number one for Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I think
he's more. It could be great.
I think it's going to be a really solid pick. And at the end of the day, when you look at my squad and you say Burrow, Mahomes, okay, Bucky, Hall, Harvey, Scattaboo, Bigsby, Sampson, Lamb, Debo, Kyle Williams, Keenan Allen, A. Minor. Okay, Kelsey, Ingram, I like it. It's a really good squad. This is one of my favorite squads.
At the end of the day, your last, 3 or 4 wide receivers are those type of players anyway. So whether you get them in the 9th and 10th round or the 15th and 16th round, you like them enough.
Yeah, like look, like let's start with round where. Okay, so I took Kelsey and Cam Scattaboo. My team is the one on the far left column. So Cam Scattaboo in 8, Kelsey in 9, Kyle Williams in 10, Ingram in 11, Tank Bigsby 12. Like, let's take a gander at like the 9 to 12 rows here. So McMillan, Kyle Williams, I got Kyle Williams. So Hollywood's okay. Bateman, no thanks. Shaheed, there's upside. Ayuk won't play for half a season. Michael Pittman can kick rocks. Jaden Higgins, I do like that one. Ibuka's up in round 8. That's higher than I'm trying to look at. Trey Harris, I like it, but is it that much different from A.O. Minor? Not really. Either one could be the guy. Jalen Noel in Houston's the third option. I didn't miss any receivers. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm skipping. Leggett, I like Leggett. He's okay. But could A.O. Minor be better than him? Yes. Quentin Johnston? No, thanks. Jack Besh is who I would have taken. That's the only guy that I think I may have missed in like a 4-round range by not going wide receiver. That's why I'm saying I love when people think that I'm making a mistake by waiting on wide receiver when I don't like any of them. Like, I'm not going to take them that high. I can just, yeah. Who should I, someone tell me who I should have taken besides maybe Jack Besh. Who you could say that I still would have got Dylan Sampson or Tank Bigsby.
Well,
and so.
Right. I was going to say, out of that group you named, you can argue your guys or those guys, depending on opinion and what you think of them. So there's no one you can say, oh, you definitely should have taken. Like, I don't know. I guess you could say McMillan, but McMillan is on the shelf. Targets, at least until someone gets hurt or play well, So whereas A.O. Minor could be the guy right away, you can argue it from so many angles, matter of opinion.
I'm going to go Michael Wilson here. I think he's like a 907, maybe 1,007, 1,006 TDs. I think he's a really underrated 16th rounder that you could argue is as good as any 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th round receiver. So give me Michael Wilson Jr. all day long. Give me A.O. Minor. Give me Keenan Allen, Kyle Williams. I think this is going to be a sneaky wide receiver room. Who I wanted to fall to me didn't fall as my additional player. I guess that you could say I kind of regret it and I kind of don't, which would have been Hold on, I'm on the clock. Let's go Yoshi Voss here. I got Burrow. I think he's a fantastic addition this late. Yoshi Voss, you could argue, is as good as anybody below Kyle Williams. You know? I mean, he's bulked up. He got 6 touchdowns last year. There's a real good chance he gets more like 700 or 800 yards and 6-7 touchdowns. Yeah, injury happens. I'm looking awesome. But Jalen Royals was the guy I wanted to grab, and I'm sure I got sniped instead of. But Keenan Allen versus Royals, I don't know. Royals may not get used.
He could be behind Hollywood for a while. You know?
Yeah. All right, I think I'm good at. I don't think I need another quarterback. It always worries me not to have a third, but at this rate, like, I'm taking somebody that's a dart throw anyway, so it's like, why even worry about it?
Yeah, I mean, bye week is the only rest. That would just be one.
Yeah. So that puts me in a position where I may or may not do what I was going to do earlier. I'll see how this ADP falls. But this is a great. Where does Keenan Allen land? Almost 100% certainty he's going to the Chargers. There's been footage of him, and unless it was somebody that looked just like him, but there's also been reports about it too. But there was also a picture of him at the facility when Najee Harris was taking his photos. I don't know if that was AI or whatever. You don't know these days, but there's a lot of word that Keenan Allen's supposedly going back to LAC anyway. But that's a great spot. I mean, think about where he if he goes to the Chargers, he's playing with his quarterback again. He's playing in a system that, you know, is different, but it's like it's Herbert, you know. I think it'll be great.
Very good spot for him.
Jalen Lane's kind of a nice pick. All right, I'm on deck here. I guess the question here is, do I go Fanning Jr. or Gray? I've got 17 seconds. Gray's safer. Fanning Jr.'s got more, independent upside.
I think Fanning's going to get some time. I think Njoku will get hurt. But
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the risk and take Fanning and just let Gray fall to the wayside. All right, Kelsey, Ingram, Fanning Jr., Yoshi Voss, Michael Wilson, Iomenor, Keenan Allen, Kyle Williams, Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb, Dylan Sampson, Tank Bigsby, Scattaboo, Harvey, Breece Hall, Bucky, Mahomes, Burrow. That's really good. Probably one of my favorite drafts, honestly. And I don't care about the projections because they don't respect a lot of the players that we like, Like, what was Kyron projected last year? What was Bucky? What were all these guys? Nothing. They were nothing, right? So, all right, let me this is a show draft, so I'm gonna label all of them when I draft on them, so I can come back and, like, if we win something, I'll be able to say, oh my God, here in the title of the draft, I'll know what date to go back to watch the stream. This is a puppy, and the date is 4/29 for me, and it's Bully. How do I describe this team so I'll kind of know too? I like doing that so that if we go looking for it, what would be the best way? Put a lamb emoji, because I drafted lamb. Lamb emoji, Bully Q, and Buck and Hall. There, that gives me enough to look at if I'm searching for something. All right, guys, let's go over to one more draft because these are 20-second timers. They go so fast. I love that they're fast drafts. So let's go to the lobby. Let's do a weekly winner $10 20-second draft. So click on that green button and jump into a weekly winner draft right now. And the weekly winners again are $10. Jump into the 20-second one. Do I think that having 2 QBs only, Burrow and May, is a good idea? It's not horrible. I mean, the thing you got to think about is you're taking a risk somewhere in your draft. One of your handful of risks, there's not just one, is that your quarterbacks don't get hurt. And so you're going to be banking on that with that contest. So it's fine. I mean, it's just one of the things you're committing to with that roster. And it gives you the extra player to get the extra Bigsby or whatever so that you can, you can have another rags to riches opportunity. But make sure you're making the most of that pick, Otherwise, I'd rather just have, instead of grabbing like a, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a player. Some backup running back that we don't even like, versus another quarterback. I'd go another quarterback. Okay, active drafts. Let me see. We got the starting 50 seconds. Let me share my screen. Phone line's open. Do we have anybody on the phone besides Rockout and Travis? DJ, what's up, DJ? I'm sorry. What can I do for you? What's up?
You teach, I learn.
Attaboy.
I'm 3 years in on the best ball thing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it from the standpoint of me being able to watch and minimize the
we can barely hear you for some reason. You're really quiet tonight.
Hold on. Can you hear me a little bit better?
A lot better. I don't know what you're doing. You've done that before. I'm talking like that when
Okay.
I'm calling. It's hard to hear you. Go ahead.
Gotcha. Let me bring. Sorry about that. So what I was saying, you teach, I learn. Because I'm like 3 years in on basketball. So, understand the strategies and strategies. I get a lot from watching. So I appreciate that. And as a long-suffering Chargers fan, I love all the Chargers talk. My boy between Hampton. I think you're absolutely right. Allen's going to land back with the Chargers. Well, are you on the line?
Yeah.
Are you on the line?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So, 100%. Allen's going to land back on the Chargers. I can believe that. I suppose anyone else. Why not? And I had a question about Chuba Hubbard and their running back room. Brooks could be done maybe next 2 years. But with Etienne coming in and Dowdle, do you think the draft value is going to be affected?
Do I think whose value is going to be affected?
Chuba Hubbard.
No. I mean, I don't. I mean, do I think Chuba Hubbard's a 7-year guy? No. Do I think he's going to only be relevant for another 2 to 3 years? Probably. Maybe 1 to 2 years. I don't think Chuba Hubbard has like a 4 or 5 year window. He's been in the league a little bit. He's definitely
well. That's why I was asking, just from the standpoint of who they brought in, right? Rico Dowdle, and then they just drafted Etienne, right? In the 4th round.
I'm not worried about the running backs on roster, if that makes sense. Those guys. What I'd be worried about is an incoming player, let's say next year or the year prior. Right now, I'm not. Chuba Hubbard's got a kung fu grip, especially with the contract extension. So he's got a kung fu grip on the job. I'm not worried about anybody on the roster, 0%. But I do believe that they could draft somebody. He's 25 years old. That's not old. That's why I like him this year. I'm not saying he's falling off. But Chuba Hubbard is 25 years old and turns 26 before the season. So you're talking about 26, 27, and then I'm not loving him in the 28 year. So I just think that, like, you know, he's good for 2 years. Let's give him 2 years. And then we start holding our breath.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. He's good, though. Real quickly, let me just go through this draft. It went Chase, Barkley. This is weekly winners. So for DJ and everybody else trying to grasp these different, you know, strategies I'm deploying, if you don't know me very well, this is going to be a little bit different ADP. It's also going to make you more prone to draft Christian McCaffrey, more prone to draft Derrick Henry, more prone to draft Mixon, more prone to draft anybody that could be injured at any point, because you could win all you got to do is you're trying to win 20K by finishing first in one given week. So when I look at this and I say to myself, who is the best player here? Who's got the most ability to have a 40-point game? It's Bucky or Achane. I'm probably going to go Achane here. And again, Achane could, if I was told Achane would only play 5 games and then he gets abducted by aliens, I still might take him here, because I know for 5 chances, 5 different weeks, I have a chance at 20K. So you got to look at it very different when you're playing a weekly winner, because you don't care. I don't care if someone falls off in week 10. I'd rather have 17 shots at winning 20K. Don't get me wrong. It's like chewing gum and walking at the same time. But there are strategies where you say, give me the injury risk player, but give me the spike weeks, baby, because I want to have Achane scoring 40, even if he's going to get me, you know, a handful of games that are, you know, a lot lesser. So coming up at this next pick, I've got Lamb already. I think Lamb could explode. JJ was nice, but I trust Dak and Lamb more than I trust anybody but Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So I'm looking at a guy like Kyren down here. I'm looking at a guy like Garrett Wilson. I'm looking at a guy like JSN. I'm looking at even Jacobs becomes all of a sudden more valuable to me, because I worry about him breaking down. But now you're going to get a spike week. You're going to get a 2 or 3 touchdown game. So Jacobs becomes amazing. Lamar Jackson can outscore any quarterback in any given week. He's fantastic. Josh Allen's an unbelievable pick in weekly winners, because he can get you 40, 50 points by himself. And if I have Achane, Josh Allen, and CeeDee Lamb, that might be the best way to go. So I'm fine with all of these players that are left. Allen, Lamar, Jacobs, Kyren, even JSN. You know, these are, Evans was even good, even if he falls off. JD5 is here. Breece Hall's fantastic. Hampton becomes really good in weeklies. So I'm on the clock. Kyren's there. Josh Allen's there. This is really tough in weeklies because of Josh Allen, Lamb, and I'm going to go Kyren here. And I'm even more so excited about Kyren in weeklies, because if he does wear down by any means, it doesn't matter. I mean, I want 17 shots at a 20K, but I love the fact that I've got Achane and Kyren, 2 first-round running backs in my opinion, and I've got CeeDee Lamb to boot. All right. So it went Lamar, then JD5. Go ahead, DJ, real quickly. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Looks like from this start, or if I'm understanding, you want spike week, high upside, the value in terms of, I guess, like I said, high upside, where they can get the spike weeks. So this is just basically best player.
This is basically like you're playing 17 individual tournaments. Every week is its own league. And you just have to decide. There's so many different avenues you can go down. Are you going to try and have 17 stabs at 20K? Are you going to draft all around the bye weeks? Like, you could go into Buy-Mageddon, bro. People do this all the time. Go into Buy-Mageddon and take a look at all the teams that are playing and draft only the players in Buy-Mageddon. And then that way you have the best team of, you know, all of the entire, you know, entrance and grouping, the best shot at maybe winning that week 20K. So some people will literally throw away 16 weeks and draft for 1 week. You know, so the strategy's through the roof. Just through the roof. And dare I say, this is one of those things where you literally could draft 1 QB. You could literally draft 1 tight end. You could literally draft less at one position. Like, I'm not worried about depth at all, Because if, let's say, my depth gets annihilated, well, then, you know, I had a great shot until it did. And I drafted in such a way that I was willing to take that risk on. Hurts dropping all the way to 39 is crazy. Joe Burrow to 35. Brees Hall to 4.1, like clockwork. That's crazy. Kittle. Okay, so we're approaching my pick. Hang tight real quickly. We've got, there's MHJ. There's a lot of good options here. MHJ just went. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet real quickly as we approach. Final approach. The weather tonight is 73 degrees on final approach, with Xavier Worthy getting drafted, unfortunately, at 42. I was kind of tempted. James Cook. Okay. I mean, damn, boys. I'm doing it. Hampton. Lamb, Achane, Kyren, Hampton. Am I struggling at wide receiver? Yes. Looking at my face, does it look like I care? No, because this is weeklies. If I grab a bunch of Kyle Williams receivers with, you know, a Debo or a DK next or whatever, wherever I get the next receiver, I'm fine. I could care less. I'm going to have these spike weeks with other positions. I like it. I love taking on risk in one spot and or even two spots. My wide receiver 2 and 3. I love the challenge. Who's got better running backs than that? You know, Hampton, Kyren, and Achane with CeeDee Lamb? I don't think so. That's crazy. Hunter was nice, I think. I think in best ball he could be really, really good. Devontae Smith. Let's see here. There's a lot of good talent here. Yeah, I'm fine at my wide receiver. Okay, let's go back here. And this is also another.
Yeah, I'm curious about your next pick there.
This is also another.
I'm running back bias, so I love it. You know, with the spark, especially with CeeDee Lamb as your one. I mean, in that volume, I like it, but I'm curious. When you shut up and see what you can.
I'm gonna go with Spike Week Debo. I know I'm drafting some of the same players, but that team on the far left there is my team. CeeDee Lamb, Achane, Kyren, Hampton, Debo. And again, I grab like a Yoshi Voss. I grab like guys like that. I'm not saying I necessarily will grab him again, but a plethora of guys to just spike a little bit in my third wide receiver spot. Again, this is all about winning 1 week individually. Think of it like 17 weeks or 17 separate leagues essentially that are 1 week long. The only thing is you can't draft over again. So you're using the original team you draft, right? So you got to think about that when you draft, but you're walking. So let's say you bomb in week 1, or let's say all of your players are suspended and injured until week 6. Doesn't matter. You're just not going to have a chance at winning 20K in week 1. You're not going to have a chance at winning 20K at week 2. But week 3 has nothing to do with week 2. Week 4 has nothing to do with week 3. Week 5 has nothing to do with any of those weeks. And let's say all your players come back in week 6 ready to rumble. Well, now you got a shot at 20K individually every single week. Reset. Nothing has to do with another week. There's no accumulation of points for 1 week. It's a clean slate. It's a completely clean slate every week. Harvey, there's a nice pick. So this far end spot, Harrison, I forget who that is. That's one of our people. Amon-Ra, London, Rashee Rice, Brees Hall, Tet, and Harvey. I like the RBs in that wide receiver room. That's a great job. Good spike potential for sure. And part of me was like really tempted to go like Harvey early, but I just couldn't condone 5th round ADP. Just couldn't do it. Matthew Golden, Ridley, Cortland Sutton. Love the Harvey pick. Love the Sam Laporta pick. Pat Mahomes, thanks a lot, Steele, for stealing him away. That's the downside of, that's why a lot of times I draft without you guys though, because like, you know, it's hard to deploy in snipe zone. It really is. It's a big bummer. Okay. Okay. I mean, do I take Olave here?
That's a bad grab. You have a couple shares of.
Yeah, I don't have any Olave shares, I don't think. So I'll take Olave here as my third receiver in weekly winners, where he can get a concussion all he wants, as long as he has a couple games for me. I don't mean that to sound callous. I hope he's okay, but I'm just saying, like, business is business. And if he's in there for 4 or 5 weeks, business might be booming. That's great. Look at that. Achane, Kyren, Hampton, Lamb, Debo, Olave.
Take that.
In weeklies. It's also a fun way.
Yeah, a lot of it's going to be weekly out there.
Yeah, Phil's correct too. Like, this is the one way where we're all gonna compete together. He's right, because everybody is in the same bucket every week. There's no, like, you don't even stay in your grouping. It's just everyone for them, man for themselves. You just the grouping of 12 just controls the draft, and the fact that, like, you have to control something, right, to get a team built. But then as soon as the draft's over, everyone's in one bucket. Who's the top scoring team? 20K. Who's the second highest scoring team? Whatever. I think second place is 10K. All right, I'm on the clock here. I'm going to go George Pickens. A guy I would never draft in redraft, but spike weeks. George Pickens.
Popped off, yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that deep of a wide receiver room in 2 years. Lamb, Debo, Olave, Pickens. That's crazy. Achane, Kyren, Hampton. We're doing it. It's pretty good.
I've been running back, bro.
I mean, I can't believe my
Damn good.
I can't believe my receiving room's that good with that running back room.
I think it's damn good. I don't see any of them having productivity week in and week out. I mean, it's value. Also, Debo's going to get you running, follows your pass. In fact, I think that's why they grabbed the running back late. Although I think you might be high on, what's it, Merritt? Something like that.
Yeah, we like Merritt a little bit. Okay. So, Lamb, 1 second, DJ. Let me just get to this. So, Achane, Kyren, Hampton. I don't think I could have a better spike week running back room. Lamb, Debo, Olave, Pickens. I'm not a big fan of Olave this year. I'm not a big fan of Pickens this year. Would probably never take them in leagues where I got to count on them accumulating value all year. But I feel like those guys are pretty damn good spike week players. And we're coming back to my pick here in a second. Who do I draft? Don't take Caleb Williams, guys. Getting kind of wild up in here. Charbonnet. Wow. That was early. That was really early. I think he was down there like, I don't know, 2 rounds maybe? Tebow's on the clock. He's got Jaden Daniels, JT Kamara, Judkins, Neighbors, Worthy, Myers, Andrews. And he just took Andrews. Okay. So I'm on deck here. Cooper Kupp. I think I'll take Bo Nix here. I think he could have some big games.
Yeah, he does have big games.
He's one of those guys who could have like 4 TD game, you know? I like that the feel of this team. And keep in mind, stacking, you could argue has some importance, but you could also argue that it has less importance here. There's just different, and it's not like it's been around forever. You know, there's only a couple years of data on it. It's a new tournament or new contest, but, and I think people didn't tap, you didn't have a lot of people tapping into a lot of the strategies like in big volumes and waves, like the wide receiver heavy group, has given you a lot of data around wide receiver, and all that. So I don't know. It's hard to say like what strategy is better. Do you have a better likelihood of winning 20K by drafting around bye weeks and going for 1 week of smashing during Buymageddon? Do you have a better chance of winning 20K by drafting a well-balanced team and taking 17 shots at it? Do you have a better chance of drafting a 20K team by having one quarterback? There's so many things that you just can't quantify. There's just no way. I have no tight end, so I'm going to do my first real cuff and say Ingram and Bo Nix together. I like that. Yeah, I don't force stacks in this format, but I always find a way to do one like that. Ingram and Bo Nix is a pretty good one. Or I do a sub stack of some kind. But that's pretty solid. And for anybody wanting to know what stacking does, the only reason having a stack is a good idea if all things are equal. Don't draft a stack over a better player. Like, you're not going to draft, like, if you have a chance to draft Josh Allen, but you're going to draft like a quarterback you like, even if it's not a lot lesser, but you like lesser than Josh Allen, because it's a stack, you're making a mistake. But if all things are equal and you can like talk yourself into, hey, I really think this guy, especially in this format, could have a spike week, then the stacking helps, because then when Nix is having that spike game, you're not having some other tight end that, let's call it Dalton Schultz, that has a horrible 0-point game, and you miss out on big money because you didn't have all those teams doing well at the same time, or the bye weeks or something. So having Nix and Ingram lined up, the moment Nix is popping off, Ingram's probably popping off too, and it's a higher likelihood of you getting those things to match each other, and you have less things that you have to get right, is the kind of thinking. But people that think that if you draft Jamar Chase, you can't win if you don't draft Burrow. If you draft, let's say, Josh Allen instead of Burrow, or Jalen Hurts instead of Burrow, it's stupid to say that you can't win. Like, are you getting less things right? Maybe. Are you having to get less things right to have Burrow and Chase? Yes. But at the same time, what if Jamar Chase is the number 1 or 2 wide receiver of the week, but Burrow only threw his only touchdown to Jamar Chase and he only had a 1 TD game, and Josh Allen or Hurts had a 3 or 4 TD game? Like, people just run their mouth about this stuff just because data said last year or something, or the majority of everybody is doing a certain thing, so the likelihood of that certain thing producing a winner is more likely. So you have kind of like skewed data. It's kind of a wild.
So go ahead.
So I got to do my Substack. I went ahead and took Dak Prescott. So I've got Bo Nix and Ingram. I've got Dak and CeeDee Lamb. Feeling really, really good about this team. And there's a world where I say to myself, I'm drafting nothing but wide receiver the rest of the way, and I'm keeping 3 RBs. And that could put my team in a vulnerable spot in weekly winners, that if, let's say, during a bye week I can't compete, or if Achan or Kyron got abducted by aliens and Hampton comes along slowly, there's a risk involved. But you're also trying to weigh out the risk of, do I believe in this enough to say, I'm going to let this ride, and I'd rather have more shots at wide receiver? Like, there's so many ways to look at this, and there's no right or wrong. There's nobody should be looking at this thing from a perspective of like, oh, you know. Let's see here.
In the scenario that you used with Burrow and Allen
Uh-huh.
with the Chase and Burrow stack versus not having stack. In this particular format, and in that scenario that you presented, that's very similar to the best, having, Burrow. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that Burrow Chase matchup was pretty heavy towards a lot of championship teams. But so if I'm understanding this process, you can actually end up overreaching because your strategy might be like, well, 17 weeks, I'm building my team for that 120 week.
Yeah, I mean, you can reach
on the 17 week. That might be for their own.
You can reach more in weeklies, I guess, is what you're asking. But the thing is, like, you still want to play the ADP game a little bit because at the end of the day, you don't want to do what the guy did earlier, where he said, I was freaking out. I didn't think Harvey would come back to me, so I took Harvey in round 4, and then he watched me do a draft and get Harvey at 6.10. And the thing is, like, you can play the early Harvey game over and over and over. I'm not saying one time's going to kill you and you can try whatever. But at the end of the day, his team was thinner. And if you don't draft around ADP, not through ADP, but manipulate ADP, you're going to have a thinner team at the end of the day than you want. And you're not going to have a championship team. You're just not. If you're reaching like crazy all over the place, one reach is okay. But you got to draft within the confines of ADP because a lot of times they're a gift. Just like I said in my house example earlier today, and I use this example like 5 times a month, maybe 20, maybe 100, I don't know. But if you come across a home that you want to buy and it's appraised for $200,000, but you buy it for $300,000 just because you know it will be worth someday, $500,000, you aren't making a smart decision. It doesn't matter if you're right. Like, I'm right, it's $500,000 someday, but you literally just like blew your wad on a player and now you don't get to take advantage of it. So the reaching is okay. And you'll see some people in these weeklies, like if I had to guess that there's they refund people and they cancel contests where, let's say somebody were to come in and draft Kyler Murray at 1 and Bashal Tutin in the 2nd round and Ramondre Stevenson in the 3rd round and Jake Ferguson in the 4th round and Keon Coleman in the 5th round, they probably would cancel that draft because it would be suspect, be very suspicious to them, and it would potentially put people in an unfair advantage to win the big money. And there's probably a threshold, right, that they have that's going to say, this alert, this draft is giving 2, 3, 4 people such an advantage that we have to cancel it. Even if there's not collusion involved, this is not a good situation. I'm going to go Grendo here. This is not a good situation. Refund it. I bet you, just to give you an example of reaching being more okay in weeklies, the threshold is different in weeklies than it is in normal best ball because they know people are going to try and draft a team that are only in week 4, like not on a bye week in week 4. So there's probably a different threshold to trigger a refund or whatever. And I don't know. I have no inside information. That's just my guess. But weeklies, you will see a lot of people reach a little bit differently. All right, let me go over to Travis real quick. Travis, what else were you going to say?
No, I'm just kind of watching, following along.
I don't know what to do with this next pick. I'm up at 5 picks. I think there's a player I like. Let's see here. Devontae Williams just went. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is such a tough player to like value right now. I mean, he's got 2 supernovas catching the football from him. How is he not going to have a bigger year? I just don't know that I can. This is Snipe City, man.
He's going to be good, but
it sucks because this team that I drafted is so good that if I wasn't getting sniped along the way as well, like, damn it. Talk up guys all day long and then they just go get snagged left and right. Jeez. I guess I'll go Jalen McMillan here, who's not a bad receiver at this stage. But man, I'm getting sniped left and right. Still a great team, though. Bo Nix, Dak, Achane, Kyron, Omarion Hampton, Tank Bigsby, Garendo. So many spike week running backs. Look at all those guys. Achane, Kyron, Hampton, Tank, Garendo, Lamb, Debo, Olave, Pickens, McMillan, Evan Ingram. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Travis. Jeez. Woo.
I like Trevor Lawrence this year, but he's hard to trust until you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he could be a top 10 QB this year.
Yeah, I definitely could. I think. Yeah, I think I'm just like kind of like hopeful, and hoping that like 4.1 to 4.5. And you'll notice these ADPs are different too. If you go,
yeah, I saw that.
You'll see that Harvey's got a 90 overall ADP in weeklies, and like an 80 something in non-weeklies. Well, home 78.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Yeah, no way is he gonna be there, right? Closer to the season.
Yeah,
he's gonna go up.
Probably, but I mean, I wouldn't say no way. But I mean, he climbed. We knew he was gonna no way stay where he was, but hard to say if he'll climb tons from where he's at now. Hurts, Burrow 5.1, Hall 4.1, Kyron 3.6, Mahomes 78 overall, Hampton 4.1 to 4.5, JD5 is 4.1, Scott is 100 overall, Debo 64, Harvey's 80 to 90 overall. Those are the best picks in fantasy right now, according to the Best Ball ADP data. How many of those guys are on this team right here? I can't even remember who I have. So I got Kyron at the 3.6. I got Hampton at the 4.1 to 4.5. Bigsby should be on this list too, but we only stopped at 100. Lamb, Debo. I got Debo on this list. Yeah. Loaded. All right, who do you boys think I should take here? You only have like 10 seconds to answer the question, so the timers is super fast. On the clock here. Ayo Minor, Jalen Royals. I got
Pick Royals. You didn't get Royals last one.
Hellman.
Nah, I almost guarantee you Ayo Minor is going to go down though. Should have just shut my mouth. I have some people that are funny. They like haters. Obviously, you have a lot of haters when you do something like this, but I have a lot of haters where this one guy would always say, "You go into these drafts, you're lying, you're lying, fraud or whatever." And he's like, "You go into these drafts to manipulate where everybody should draft, so that you can take advantage of them." And it's like like. It's like, can you imagine, like, compromising my entire channel and livelihood for, like, a $3 draft here and there? the likelihood of you winning is still really hard. Like, you're talking about playing against 200,000 people. Imagine, this is kind of like the flat earthers, They just think that, like, I apologize if any of you are a flat earther. There's Ayo Minor. Like clockwork. I can't even cue anybody. I don't even know what to do with this next pick. Yeah, I can't even use my cue. Oh, you know what? Let's see here. I'm gonna time out. I'm gonna time out. I'm gonna time out. Damn it. What round are we in? 15, okay. I don't think I'm going to take another quarterback unless I go like Milton, which I could say that out loud. You take Milton and you don't have Dak, you're just off your rocker. So you want to snipe me on that, go ahead. Ruin your contest. But I might take Milton if I was to take a quarterback, but that's it. Probably need another tight end or two. I don't even mind going 3 tight ends in this scenario. But I mean, my receivers, I don't even know that I need another receiver. Like Lamb, Debo, Olave, Pickens, McMillan, Royals, probably pretty good there. Running backs, I don't think I need another running back. Achane, Kyren, Hampton, Bigsby, Garendo, Giddens. I mean, that's pretty solid. I think I could just focus on smashing. I could just smash the tight end position.
Most people are snarky about it. Say you could take one of the other Miami running backs, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Three tight ends isn't a bad idea in a week league. Few and far between with tight ends. You like league.
I'm a newer viewer, says Hartman, but you definitely practice what you preach. Thank you, pal. Glad to have you. Make sure you're subscribed, by the way. Don't be a newer viewer that doesn't subscribe and just kind of searches for the channel. The subscribes help. Hit that like button too. Appreciate you, my boy. I'll send you to the moon in exchange for a follow. My boy. Okay, yeah, I like Milrow in this format too. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna grab a couple.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna grab Fannin, Jr. Gives me a guy that, you know, he knows how to catch the ball. The guy led the nation in receptions and receiving yards. All receivers. He's better than Jeremiah Smith in both categories. Better than Hunter. Better than everyone. McMillan, Fanning Jr. was the number one yardage getter. He had like 15 something versus second place was 13 something. And he had the most receptions in college football out of receivers and tight ends. So Fanning Jr. is pretty solid. It's just he's in a perceived to be a bad spot. But I mean, at the end of the day, Njoku gets hurt all of the time.
All the time, yeah.
He's so big. He's just like, he's one of those guys. Like, remember David Boston? The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Guy was a monster. How big was
And the Chargers.
Yeah. How big was David Boston? David Boston size. He was 6'2", but what did he weigh? There's no way he was just 228.
No, he had some extra enhancements going on there.
Oh, okay. So he fell back down to earth. He fell back down to 228.
And the irony behind that is his dad was NFL official.
I want to say he was like 45. I want to say he was about 245. You know, at one point. He was crazy, man. I'm going to go with Noah Gray. I didn't take him last time. I just think if like Kelsey got hurt, that would be an unusual player. You always want to have like a couple unusual players that can, you know, be a difference maker.
Fire.
Do you think, let me wait until I'm closer to picking. These mother 6'1", 230. There's a lot of different stats on him. 6'4", 6'2", 6'1". He was all over the place. Let's ask Kruger. Kruger, how tall and how much did David Boston weigh? The former Arizona Cardinal receiver.
Boston was about 6 feet 2 inches tall and at his peak weighed around 240 pounds.
I was right. Go ahead, sorry.
As I was saying, he was known for being incredibly muscular, almost like a bodybuilder, which made him stand out on the field. His combination of size and speed was pretty unique for a wide receiver.
What's the probability in your AI mind that he was using enhancements, and for how long, given how big he was?
It's hard to say for sure, but there was definitely a lot of speculation back in the day. Given his dramatic physical transformation and the era he played in, many suspected he might have used performance-enhancing substances. He was even suspended in 2004 for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy, which added fuel to the fire. So, while there's no definitive answer, it's reasonable to think there was a significant probability he used enhancements during his career.
Is there a chance that that's why he dropped back down to 220 pounds? Well, I guess that'd be the obvious thing, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a strong possibility.
Hey,
After facing...
yeah, hold on,
he had to-
Krug, hold on. I got another question. If you had to guess, let's not spark too many rumors here, but if you had to guess, what player in the NFL right now might be using enhancements based on your educated guess?
That's a tough one, and I wouldn't want to speculate without evidence. The league's testing protocols are pretty strict these days, and players know the risks of getting caught are high. Plus, with so much focus on nutrition and advanced training methods, a lot of players achieve incredible physiques naturally. It's best to leave that kind of speculation to the league and the experts who handle testing and enforcement.
But if you had to guess,
I get where you're coming from, but it's really not fair to single out anyone without concrete evidence.
okay, let me give you a scenario then. Okay, let me just give you a scenario. This was on the earlier show, and we're pretty. Well, actually, I'll give you my explanation after, so we can correct the record. But there is a photo of a man named Marion Hampton, and follow me here, okay? Follow me, Krug. We're gonna break this down in an amazing fashion here. We've got a photo of Marion Hampton, who is 6 foot, 220 pounds, and he shows up at the Chargers facility. And he's all of a sudden 6'4" and about 260. Is there a chance that he's on enhancements, or is it more likely that this is AI?
All right, let's break it down. If a guy supposedly grows 4 inches and packs on 40 pounds in a short span, that's more likely some digital wizardry than reality. AI-generated images can easily make someone look taller or more muscular. Realistically, no one's growing that much overnight. And NFL facility.
Good point. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. Just finishing the thought. The most plausible explanation is that it's an AI-generated image or some kind of visual manipulation. So it's way more likely to be a digital effect than enhancements.
Oh, man, that was good. Thank you, Krug. We'll see you later.
You got it. Juices and stay loose. Catch you next time.
All right, boys and girls, here's my final team. Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, Achane, Kyren, Hampton, Bigsby, Garendo, Giddens. Timed out kind of on that Giddens. I mean, I actually made the pick, but like I had nobody around, and I'm like, Lamb, Debo, Olave, Pickens, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Royals, Ingram, Fanning Jr., Noah Gray, and Terrence Ferguson. I don't know. Do you guys think Terrence Ferguson in LAC is going to do anything? DJ, you got any opinions on that?
If yeah, I mean, I think he can be similar to what Higbee is when Higbee's healthy. Like, he's athletic, he's big. I mean, if you watch him with highlights, he looks awesome with highlights. I don't know if Higbee, I can't remember if he's perfect or not, but I think he can definitely go.
Even man, if he is.
Or did I say LAC? I mean LAR. Sorry.
throwing the ball. Yeah, bad. Everything.
I can barely hear you, DJ. Whatever you keep doing, when you fade into this.
What I was saying was, I'm not too sure it even matters if Higbee's there or not. I think he still is. But with Adams there and Puka, of course, unless they are intending to scheme him up, I don't know that it matters. I don't know that tight end position is like what we think it should be.
Yeah, I think he's got upside. I know they're excited about drafting.
I don't remember. Last year, Higbee, before he got hurt, I think he was pretty good.
Curious.
the way Sean Payton was like giddy when he drafted him just makes me think that there's some decent upside, but hard to really say. Okay, here's my no. I mean, you're not wrong. It's definitely tough to say. But we're talking about like my fourth tight end. But okay, here's the squad.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead, Travis.
The playoffs. I was just gonna say Higbee got 5 targets and 10 targets in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, I think DJ, you're on. You're both onto something, but I'm kind of hopeful as a fourth tight end in this format. Like we're looking for a spike week, not a season long. But
yeah, that wasn't a critique in terms of
yeah.
I mean, I love the squad. I think the squad's better than the last.
You do?
Previous, of course, different strategies.
Who likes this team, considering the contest was weeklies versus the puppy non-weeklies other team? I know you might not remember it, but this is a pretty good squad. Bo Nix.
I like this team.
And Evan Ingram cuffed.
Yeah, me too.
Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb cuffed. I got Debo, Olave, Pickens. I just need this team to come together for 1 week. Because the highest scoring team each week out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of teams wins 20K. And then let's say that's week 1. Week 2, clean slate. Boom. Whoever wins that week, 20K. Next week, clean slate. Whoever wins that week, 20K. Just continuously all the way through weeks 1 through 17. Meaning that a team in the By-Mageddon, you could draft just for By-Mageddon. Throw every other week out the window.
Yeah.
Say during By-Mageddon, I've got the best team. And so during that week, I'm competing against 10,000 teams instead of 100 or 200,000 teams. We try next time. We'll try that once we have buys and everything. We'll try that this year. We'll do a By-Mageddon team. But this is pretty good. I mean, I'm looking at the running backs here. So considering Lamb, Debo, and then one of Olave, Pickens, those are spike week wide receivers. The Knicks and Dak, spike week quarterbacks. Given that I've cuffed them, I feel there's good probability of having something pop off there. Achane, Kyron, Hampton, Bigsby, Garendo, amazing spike week players. I like this team quite a bit. It sucks I got sniped on a lot of picks too, because I would have had an even better team. Your next weekly winners is on me, Smitty, says Phil. Thank you, Phil. Phil with the $10 holler. Phil to the mother freaking moon. Let me send you to the moon, pal. Appreciate you.
To the moon.
And then let's see here. Where was that? Right here. Thank you, Phil. Happy drafting. May the best team win. Thank you. Yeah, this is a good squad. I'm surprised Achane is falling. He escaped. I mean, I guess you could say drafting a running back is scaring people, I suppose. But I don't know why he's falling quite a bit. I mean, he was going in the first round for a majority of the offseason, and now he's at 17.8. He's at 18 overall. He's nearing the 2-3 turn. I don't really understand. I don't care to change people's minds, but okay, let me look at some of your other teams here. Let me go back and review these squads. We've got I don't recognize everyone's name, so I'm gonna go with what I recognize. JD5, Herbert, JT, Kamara, Quinshawn Judkins, Ray Davis, Jalen Wright, Justice Hill, Neighbors, Worthy, Myers, Josh Downs, Trey Harris, Mims. Mims could be one of those guys that like wins this, You got Mims, Worthy, and Neighbors at one time. Andrews, Ertz. I probably would have spent a little time backing you. I think you said you got sniped on Likely. Yeah, because, I mean, these are two very injury-prone tight ends. I'd hate you have like 10 weeks where you don't have a tight end or something. Herbert and JD5's fine. Good squad. Like, are you really going to use... Are you really going to use Justice Hill to win the weekly winners? I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I'd rather probably have another tight end. But that's me. Steele, the sniper. Mahomes, Purdy, Stafford, Genty, Walker, ETN, Warren, McLaughlin. You got sniped on Charbonnet because of karma. AJ Brown, Jackson Smith, and Jigba Harrison. That's a trio right there. AJB, JSN, MHJ. With Genty and Mahomes. It's really solid. Kelsey, I like it.
Yeah, well,
It's a good team. If you had Sharps, it would be really
every team is team 9. Hartman is team 4.
Team 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Caleb. Yeah. And Weekly's is fine though, because he can have a big game. McCarthy, Love. I just don't like the QB room though, bro. Like, I don't know. I would have done something different. I mean, you got 3 very. I don't know. Poor Sick Nasty. He's like, Smitty, crap on McCarthy one more time. Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Caleb Johnson, solid. Ladd, J-Mo, Devontae Smith. You know, for a team that I would say, like I see Ladd and I go, yeah, I don't, you know, Ladd, J-Mo, and then you have Devontae Smith. It's like all of a sudden, like you got 3 really, like none of these guys are top 5 or close to it. But you got literally 3 guys that are all like clumped together that are near top of round 3 or Ladd and Devontae Smith are like literally top of round. Well, Devontae Smith's like late 3, early 4 potential to me. Ladd's more of a top of the round 3 guy, which is why I never draft him in 2. And J-Mo's getting like, but they're all 3 really good. Like that's really a strong wide receiver room considering, you know, your running backs. I like it. I just would have went like better quarterbacks, Kyler and Dak, or at least one of those guys in that room. You said 10?
Bijan against us.
Oh, this is Aaron, right? Josh Allen, Geno. Weekly winners, just fine. You don't need to have 3 QBs. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's a strategy, but you're not like penalized for it. Henry, very good weekly winner player. Charbonnet, very good weekly winner player. Okay, so you got Allen, Henry, Sharbs. The only negative with this team is you don't have a single bona fide guaranteed touches running back after Henry. Like even Stevenson, he's guaranteed work, but how much we don't know yet. But if Sharbs gets into the lineup like weeks 8 on or something, or 5 on, you got this huge advantage, you know, with that. So that's great. Puka, Flowers, Golden, Kittle, Jonu, great tight ends. That's good. Slasher, I think, is one of ours. Hurts, McCaffrey, Pollard. I'd like another running back here, different, but I like McCaffrey and Hurts is great in weekly. I mean, if McCaffrey does have any good games left. Nico, big spike week guy. He could have 103 in any given game. Jennings is a good spike week guy. Adams is a good spike week guy. Very good team. Laporta, likely. I like it a lot. And then 12. May, AR5. Don't like that, man. Because if May gets hurt, your whole thing's done. 17, unless AR5 stays in the lineup, or you don't even know if he'll win the job. Like I would have taken a different quarterback, or had at least a third one, just because if something happens to May, you're toast. All your brackets. But I mean, the thing is,
yeah, I don't think in this format Richardson is back, but it's the Drake May.
And I like him.
Where he was at.
And I like Drake
because
May.
You want a Richardson or Phil.
I like Drake May. I just want another. I just want Dak or Kyler with it, And I think that we look through the team,
right?
And probably like an Ollie Gordon, a Devin Neal, or a Jaden Higgins or whatever. Those guys could potentially be sacrificed to just get that Dak Prescott in there or something. And I'm just saying that's the only weakness I see, that this team, which I'm sure I even scanned it, it's really good. I would hate for it to go down because of that. Paul Harvey, not a lot of depth at RB, but I mean, in weeklies, you can afford to take this gamble because Harvey and Hall will be fine unless one of them gets hurt or the bye weeks. Like you're saying to yourself, like, I don't care if this goes the distance week 17. I might get 8 weeks of it, and then Hall or Harvey misses time, then so be it. And maybe one of these other guys steps up, but like that's fine because you're going to be stacking a wide receiver. I already know that. So right now, Drake May, Hall, Harvey, all those could pop off together. So it's going to be still going to be okay. But St. Brown, London, Rice, Tet, Reed, very good. Kyle Williams, Pitts, Hunter Henry, and Tyler Warren. Really good squad. Really good squad. Good job, Harrison. I just the only thing was I would have just grabbed another quarterback just to keep you in it if something were to go awry. That just the rest of it's great. The rest of it's fantastic. I think that's it. If I missed anybody,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gotta move on anyway. But
30 deeds done feet.
what?
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Deeds done feet.
All right, last one.
Yes.
Joe Burrow, Stroud, Sam Darnold, Chase Brown, Monty, BT, Cortland Sutton. I love Bowers. I mean, look, if Sutton and Pearsall like have a blow up game together, then this team has a shot. The way I would look at this is I would say, what are the odds that Sutton, Ricky, and Brian Thomas Jr. are outscoring some of these other wide receiver rooms on the regular? The answer is no. 1 week, sure, but less chances of it happening. And with Chase Brown and Monty with no depth really, I mean, I guess it depends how you define Benson and Pacheco. Like those guys could get in, but right now none of those guys are start. So it kind of put yourself in a position where you're limiting the number of shots you get at 20K. Now maybe he's doing something I'm not thinking about, like he's planning around something, but without bye weeks in the schedule yet, we don't really have that possibility. I'm on the clock in a couple of these drafts. Let me just show you what I'm doing. So this one right here, I've got no players yet. So let's take our first guy together. Neighbors at 1.9. This is tough because I love Neighbors. I've been taking a lot of them, but I know I won't get Genty back. And there's a shot I'm going to get. There's 3 picks in between 4. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got to project that I'm going to be down to Bowers or London or Achan. So I like Achan. I'm going to go Neighbors here because I think I'll get Achan at least. So that's that. That's kind of how my mind works. Best Ball Mania here. No player picked yet. BT. I'll go BT here because I think I can get Achan. Not that I'm trying to pick Achan in every draft, but he's becoming an amazing value. This one I already drafted Gibbs, so I went early. I go early receiver when I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pick, a little more than I go running back, but I want to have a lot of shares of Gibbs and Bijan. So this is a team where I have drafted RB first. So I'm in a dilemma here of whether I'm not going Higgins or Hill here. No, thank you. So do I punt wide receiver one more time to try and get Garrett Wilson? And this is how you kind of work, right? You say, okay, what's Garrett Wilson's ADP in this format? It's 29 right on the screen there. Garrett Wilson, 29 overall. Hit the board. Look at where your next pick is. As you can see, 29 is the pick right before mine. So the odds are probably not good that Garrett Wilson's going to fall to me. So Garrett Wilson's not an option, and he's the guy I would want in the next round. Kyron is pick 29 as well, so that's going to be pushing it. JD5 will be available. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be available. That's not bad to go my wide receiver 1, Marvin Harrison Jr. Do I want AJ Brown? This is Best Ball Mania. It's not weeklies, so I'm a little bit scared of AJ Brown long term this year. I have a bad feeling about his knees. He's getting older. He's amazing, but he's like also a player that can have a bunch of bad games. And I'm tempted to go like Bucky here. I don't think I've ever drafted a team with Bucky and Gibbs, so I could get Bucky and then Marvin Harrison Jr. later, or I could go AJB and probably get Breece Hall. So what do you guys think on the phone line? Breece Hall and AJB and MHJ. You're right. This is weekly. This is weekly winners. I'm sorry, it is. So.
Oh, it is weekly.
Yeah, I was wrong. Thank you for correcting me, Hartman.
I could go AJ Brown on that one.
Yeah, it makes him safer.
Yeah.
But I think Bucky. I'm gonna go Bucky here. I'm gonna take a gamble on MHJ. So Gibbs and Bucky. I know. Yeah, I don't think I have a Gibbs and Bucky team. I know I don't have. So weeklies, that's pretty cool. If anybody else wants to draft in one of these, just get on over to the fantasy, or get on over to the link that I'm going to drop in the live chat and use code Smitty. But there's nothing better than doing these drafts. And there's $3. There's the link right there. It's pinned in the live chat. There's $3 drafts that you can jump in, these puppies. They're $3 puppy drafts. And the prize money obviously is lesser than a Best Ball Mania, which is millions of dollars, but you can still win, like, I don't know, I think it's like 100K or something like that. So you do a $3 draft for 100K. Let me go over and just make sure what the payout is. The weekly winners is great because you could draft one team, and you know that feeling of your team has injuries, they all come together at the end of the year, but it's too late. Weekly winners doesn't matter. They could come together at the end and you can win 20K in any individual week, clean slate scoring. There's no scoring carrying over from week to week. So the weekly winners is probably the best. If you had to pick one contest to play, that might be the best one for a new person, because they can make mistakes. And then even when the mistakes get rectified later, you misjudge something, you have a chance of everything coming together in an individual clean slate week. So that's why I probably say it's the most intriguing contest in my opinion for people. But the puppy there's a $5 puppy, and then there's a $3 schnauzer. The schnauzer is $3. First place is 100K. The puppy is $5, and first place is 100K. And the reason for that is the prizes are structured differently. Like the second, third, fourth, fifth, those places pay out differently. The thing about the weekly winners, which is cool though, which is awesome, is not only does first place get 20K, but second place gets 10, third place gets 5.5, fourth place gets 4K, fifth gets 3,500, sixth gets 3,000, seventh gets 2,500, eighth gets 2,000, ninth gets 1,500, 10th gets 1,250, 11th through 15 gets $1,000, 16 through 20 gets $750, 21st through 25 gets $500. So in the entrance, there'll probably be around, I think it's like 180,000 entrants, which is a lot, but it's damn fun for $10 to try and win $20,000 clean slate each week with the same team that you originally drafted. So you got to think ahead. You got to think, like, you could draft all sleeper running backs and just wait for that 1 week where a majority of them are in there. You know, you could do all kinds of things. Last super chat, and then I got to go, fellas. Holiday says, I'm a big fan of you, brother. Learned a lot from you and won my first chip last year. How many mock drafts should I do leading up to the season? If you can't do best ball and your state doesn't allow it, I'll be honest, man, I don't really do mock drafts anymore, and I hate that because I used to love them. But the problem is the data is just not, like, here's the best way to describe it is all of the very good drafters are no longer doing free mock drafts anymore. You know, it's kind of like taking the big boys out of the player pool, and they're going over to try and do a $3 draft instead of a mock draft. Like, instead of doing a mock draft, I can go do a real draft, win big money, and spend $3 doing it. So just a small example of that is I haven't done a mock draft. Maybe I did like 5 last year. When the years prior we did like 500. We probably did like 500 mock drafts, maybe more than that, every year on the channel live. And last year we probably did like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe not even that many. And this year I've done 0. I'd rather do like an ADP ranking show than do a mock draft with you guys, because the data's crappy. The pre-rank list is misguiding. None of these platforms, even Sleeper, are updating their rankings to my liking. So I get in there and it's like you got to look through and sift through, and then the whole draft's thrown off because Harvey's buried somewhere and no one saw him or could find him. And I don't know that it's even helping you, But if you get to know the ADP,
no, I would say no offense to people either, but even in the mock draft, people start to snipe when we get them together.
Yeah,
and they start like sniping like crazy, which kind of defeats the purpose of the mock draft.
Yeah, and they'll snipe even more in a mock draft than in a real draft. And when there's money involved, you'll hold back a little bit. That's why I do a lot of drafts that I even I'll come live and I won't even want you guys in the draft. I really don't. No offense, but how am I supposed to show you the best way to draft when I've got 4 people in there that are going to take Travis Hunter 3 rounds too early, or take Harvey in the 4th round instead of the 6th round, so I can't even display or show anybody how to dominate a draft. So, I mean, I love drafting with you all, and I definitely will continue to, but I'll sneak in a lot more drafts where you're not in them, because it does me no good. Tonight worked out really well, but a lot of times it's like, and there's a couple teams, like there's a chance too, and I'm trying to win too, but there's a couple teams that I drafted tonight that might even been a little bit better just without the snipage. And the snipage is not good to watch. The connoisseur, the person not in the drafts watching the replay, which is a significant more people than the people in the draft. I mean, you think about it, like 4, 5, 6, 7 of you get in the draft, and that's fun for you. But in terms of the actual value of the content, it's more, no offense, more important to help the thousands and thousands of people that watch it and consume it to get good information than for the 4 people to be able to draft in the same draft as me. Like, I know that's fun, but that's not the objective. I have to think about the bigger picture, which is to do a really good draft for everybody watching, not do a draft where we don't even see the players that should be there. And then all of a sudden people are like, yeah, well, I saw Smitty draft last night and he couldn't get Harvey. I saw him, get sniped in the 4th, so I don't know if I can draft Harvey this year. I don't know if he'll fall to me. And that's bad information. That's why it really is tough to draft in a snipe environment and have it be valuable. DJ, final thoughts.
This is why I watch, so I appreciate that.
Yep.
And this is exactly why I watch, and enjoy the show. And it's proper context. You're doing the darn thing, man. I know you're to jump off the line, but one last thing, if you can hear me.
Yep.
I think I'm more concerned. I think we talked a little bit about the OC changes, and I'll leave you with this. I think I'm more concerned about the OC situation in Philly when I originally thought, as opposed to Tampa.
What's the question?
Well, no, I was just speaking in terms of the ratings, right? We were saying, well, in terms of the OCs that have left, we were talking about Tampa and, losing Cohen. And we were talking about Philly losing, their OC.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my ranking was 1, 2, 3 in terms of Philly being 2. I think I'm more concerned about Philly as opposed to Tampa.
Yeah.
If I'm making any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I think what it comes down to is trusting the quarterback. Yeah. I think I trust Goff less than I trust Baker. I trust Jalen Hurts and the surrounding weapons he has more than I trust Baker. But at the same time, we've seen Hurts struggle recently, so it kind of puts that in an even-Steven type of situation for me. where I'm like, okay, I've seen AJ Brown struggle. I've seen Jalen Hurts struggle.
Not having a solid OT previously. I mean, it was a S show.
It was, but maybe this
Moore
internal
was
hire.
there for 1 year and they went to the Super Bowl. So that's pretty concerning to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, man.
All right, bro.
I appreciate it.
You later. Yeah, hard to say because we don't really know how the OCs are going to do. Like, are these internal hires bad just because they're internal, or could they be pretty solid? It's hard to know. But I do think I'm probably gonna, yeah. All right, appreciate you, boys. Rock out. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, can I give you my bad team?
Yeah, go ahead, DJ. Thank you.
Quarterback, Jane Daniels, Dak Prescott, Jackson Dart, Shador Sanders. Running back, Kenneth Walker, Kamara, Aaron Jones, Charbonnet, Ray Davis, Rashard Smith. Wide receiver, Nico Collins, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Shakir Coker, Mike Wilson, Tyler Warren, and Goddard.
Weekly?
This puppy.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. It definitely could win. Very balanced. I like the receivers. Evans is your third receiver. Is that what you said? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, obviously,
running back basically.
Yeah, your running backs suffered a little bit comparatively, but they're still good. I'd almost say in weeklies, I liked it a little bit more, thinking as weeklies is because Sharps and Walker could hit those huge weeks, but they might be inconsistent or at the same time. But yeah, I like that. It's a good team. All right. See you later. Rock out.
Catch you later.
Good team, bro. Later.
Oh.
And alternative. I don't really promote any other. I appreciate the super chat, but I don't promote other content or other platforms. So it's all Underdog here. That's the way we roll here. We're Underdog people. But I appreciate your super chat and asking. But that's all we do. Travis, final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if he's in the chat anymore. Brad was asking a question. Would you rather have the 1.03 and the 2.09 or the 1.05 CMC?
So, like a late second rounder or CMC, and to get CMC, you got to move back from 103 to 105, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the same running back. I mean, it's tough to know. I'd rather have this.
He had mentioned 103 and Hunter at 105, but he meant.
Yeah, that's apples to oranges too. Like hard to like if we were to say Harvey at 105 and Hampton at 103, and then you get Christian McCaffrey, I guess. But what's McCaffrey anyway? I don't know. I think if you could win money, it's worth a shot, I suppose. But at the same time, like, what happens if an injury strikes and then all of a sudden, like, there's one less running back? And I like Hunter, I really do, but I don't think I draft Hunter before the top 3 or 4 running backs. And that's me loving Hunter, but I think I still draft those RBs ahead of him. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison for me, but I just think Christian McCaffrey might have like half a year where he could do better than I think, but
yeah, I think it was a dynasty too, so that factors in.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably rather have the 1.3.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I'm tired. All right, later, Travis. See you, bro. All right, we're out of here. Thanks again, DJ. Thank you, Shane, for the double super chats, my boy. Bryson, Ilphil, Jake, super chats. Ball Street, Bryson, Justin, and Jonathan. Thank you guys for the super chats. I don't think we had any gifted memberships. I don't think we did any celebratory messages. No, we did not. We're out of here. Appreciate you all. Thank you for drafting with me. See you later. Don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Don't forget we're also live whenever big news breaks. And don't forget, I also go live most midnights like tonight at midnight Eastern to do drafts. So get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'll drop that link in the live chat. This is my year-round fantasy football content, rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators. Got into the industry in 2002/2003 to develop this because I couldn't find one on the internet. I'm like, there's no trade calculator in the industry? How come? And how come, if there is one, how come I can't find it? Number two, there's no instant-based one. You can download software and enter your entire league into it, and it'll give you suggestions and outputs. I wanted an instant front-facing trade calculator that you could just click a name, and it tells you without even entering anything. And so that's how I got into the industry. Thank you, Aaron. Bye. I appreciate you. Thank you for this, the 2-month membership question. I'm excited about all the content here on the Fantasy Football Show. You can get a lifetime membership, so you only pay one time for the rest of your existence on the site, or you can do it yearly. But get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. The rankings are year round. I got to put the updated ADP rankings up. That's also very useful. So I'll update that tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Don't forget to get on over to the Patreon as well. That link I'll drop in the live chat. That's where basically this live chat group, we extended on over 365 24/7 into the Patreon live chat room. So it's just all I have on Patreon is this live chat room. I do video live streams on there privately with you guys that are on the Patreon. Audio live streams, they added video, so expect a bunch of private video live streams where we just talk about whatever, to try and prep for a show, or I'll give an early bowl prediction, whatever, in the video stream over here. But this is Patreon. It's patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. I just dropped the link to the Patreon. $10 a month, cancel anytime. It is the best place to live chat 365, toss a trade idea out, talk rookies. During games, it's the best. We're all inside what's called the game day lounge chat, and we just sit in there all day long, whether it's Thursday night, Monday night, morning slate of games on Sunday, then the afternoon slate of games, and the Sunday night game. And then we talk about, going to do the live waiver wire show on Sunday evening, and it's a blast. So get on over to the Patreon. See you all later. I'll be on Patreon right now. Rhino says, if you're new, Smitty's your golden ticket. Thank you, pal. Appreciate the compliment. Rhino to the moon. I'll see you all over on Patreon. Travis will probably be over there. I know I will. See you on Patreon right now. In fact, I'm going to type a message right here, right now, and say, who in the general chat, the general live chat, who is up? Who is up? Topics to kick around. Boom. Live chat. Doing it live. Patreon. Patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. Or this link right here. See you all tomorrow.